Hello and welcome to New Filmmakers Los Angeles in partnership with Movie Maker magazine. My name is Danny DeLillo and we're here at the Cambridge Los Angeles showroom in West Hollywood. I'm here with Blake Harrison with his movie, Who's of Clay. Let's take a look at a clip.
I think there's a night bus that goes my way.
Night bus?
Yeah, it stops outside the kebab shop downstairs.
Don't wait outside the kebab shop.
I'll be fine.
No, I'm serious. They're definitely involved in one of those kebab shop sex traffic ring type things, like what happens in Rotherham.
You think I'm a potential victim of sex trafficking?
I'm just saying, anyone's fair game. That kebab shop is dodgy as fuck.
But you live upstairs.
Blake, thank you so much for coming to the other side of the world to be here today.
Thank you for having me.
We are honoured to have you at New Filmmakers LA, but for those that haven't seen Who's of Clay, tell us a brief synopsis.
So it's about modern day dating and the pressures of modern day dating, the kind of how image obsessed society is at the moment, and the vanity that breeds, the insecurities that breeds, and we see this manifest itself in a third date between Guy and Jill, and they go back to her flat or apartment, and she clearly wants to move things on to the next level, and he's very reluctant, and it's about kind of him revealing something about himself, which is the reason he's reluctant to kind of be open and honest with her, which I think is a byproduct of today's kind of absurd dating pressures when using things like Tinder and dating apps and things like that. Yeah,
well, I mean, Blake, it was superbly written, wonderfully directed, and greatly acted by yourself and the character of Jill.
Thank you.
I was so happy you made this because I was like, yes, this is exactly what it's like right now. Like, it's so hard, and the whole dating process has just changed before our eyes, you know, and how things have actually worked. Obviously, you kind of delved into the fact it's about modern day dating. Where did inspiration come for you? Like, I have to have this film written, I have to do this.
At first, my wife, who wrote the script,
very talented wife, yeah.
Yeah, she's good. She's good. I'm biased, but she's good.
Yeah.
She wrote it as a play.
Yeah.
And after seeing it as a play, I just thought it would make a really great short film, and I kind of felt like it would be a shame because obviously, you know, with a theatre audience, as great as that is, you're only going to hit a limited amount of people.
Yeah.
Whereas with a short film, you know, possibilities could be endless almost with the amount of people that can see it and from all over the world and things like that. As long as you've got an internet connection, you could potentially see this film eventually. So, yeah, for me, we both, my wife and I, have friends and family that use things like Tinder, and not only is it the kind of the vanity about your own kind of profile pictures and stuff like that, but also the judgment that you give on other people. We've got friends that would complain about not getting any matches because people look at them as fat or ugly or short or whatever. And then they would get on Tinder and go, no, not for me, no, too short, no to this, no to that. And it's like, well, can you not see the hypocrisy in that? And also with today's kind of dating and things like that, it seems like there's a lack of wanting to work at anything. You know, like when if you're dating someone and they give you some kind of a problem, or you have an argument, or something like that.
Absolutely.
Why work at this relationship that you're in when you've got 1,000 people at your fingertips that you can just move on to, and they may not give you that problem?
I'm with you, Blake. This is like dating therapy right here, right now. This is absolutely true. No, it's really, really true, and it's something that's just happened before our eyes.
Absolutely.
You know? And I was watching your film, and I thought, my goodness me, I remember a time we used to actually talk to each other and communicate. We might meet each other beyond a little dating app, and we're not flicking through things, you know? So, you know, and of course, the pressures of what that actually is as well. You know, I think you sort of showcase that in this really, you know, comedic yet very serious kind of way. You know, I love the dynamic between both the characters because, like, you know, there's such great comedic timing, which obviously is your background anyway. But it was just a wonderful sort of like, you know, understanding of each other, and also kind of an awareness of each other's maybe flaws that we're unable or don't want to reveal to ourselves.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was very fortunate to get Rebecca Humphries, who plays Jill. Thankfully, she's a very good friend of mine.
Yeah,
so
always good talented friends.
That's it, yeah, pull in those favours. And so we have a great chemistry anyway, just because we're good mates. And she got the script immediately, and the type of style of comedy that my wife, Rebecca, and I, and pretty much everyone I think that works on the film enjoy, you know, not that kind of cheesy, you know, hey, we're in a sitcom type thing. It's more something that's very played real. Like we love things like Master of None and stuff like that, where, you know, you're looking at it's social commentary effectively, but laced with comedy and seeing the funny side to it, but also having a message and holding a mirror up to society and saying, this isn't great, you know, we in terms of making society better, we should ideally change this aspect of it. So
no, I mean, you certainly did that. So obviously casting was not too difficult, because obviously you put yourself and a good friend in there, which is great. How do you kind of like, obviously, you know, also people sometimes say, oh, filming in one particular space is easy, but not when you've got an entire crew in there and working in that space. How was that for you?
Well, finding location was tough, because we needed the apartment to be rubbish enough for Jill to live there when she doesn't. Or bed sit, as
you mentioned, the film, as you call it.
You know, we need. She doesn't earn much money. She can't live in a particularly nice apartment or bed sit, and but obviously for our purposes, we needed the whole crew to fit in there. I also had a couple of wide shots. I wanted those kind of moments of the two of them sat on the sofa quite awkwardly to be played in a wide. I think that's just funnier to see more of the space and to isolate them slightly, you know. So it was very important to have that mixture, which was tough to do. And luckily, our first AD and DOP were moving out of their flat the day after our filming date.
Perfect.
So it was kind of serendipitous, really, that we were able to just use their flat, and then they were able to leave, and it was all good.
Yeah. So you filmed in a couple of days, you said, was it?
2 days.
2 days. Wow.
2 days. Yeah. So it was about 17 pages, something like that, in 2 days, which was hard to do in anyway, but obviously for Rebecca and I, it was a hell of a lot of, you know, we had to basically learn the whole script before going in and treat it like a play. Really.
Yeah. What was, I mean, because I love it because it was very theatrical as well. But what's it like taking it from a play and then taking it into a film? Because, you know, obviously that's a transition, and you don't often see that as often. But I mean, it worked brilliantly well. Was there quite any difficulties turning it into a screenplay?
Well, I think because we knew that it was all going to be set in the flat as a film, it made that transition far easier. And so we didn't have to then worry about locations and spreading dialogue out or doing anything. It felt like the reason I wanted to make it a short film is because I could see it as a short film immediately when I saw the play. And if anything, I think we only benefited and improved on it as a piece by making it a short film, because of the angles that you can get, because of the close proximity that you can get to these characters, the way you see their struggle, both dramatically and comedically as well. I feel like the fact that we could use a variety of shots and really guide the audience eye to where we want it to be only enabled us to make it funnier and also more meaningful.
No, most definitely. And you have to watch this film because there's so many great reveals in this, and it's just got such great comedic time, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. What's it like for you, Blake, to be in front of camera and also playing behind the camera as well? How challenging was that for you?
It was challenging. As an actor, I would say it was potentially easier because I was part of the script from its conception. Yeah. And so I knew the motivations and you know, dialogue well, and the beats and what I wanted to get out of it. So as an actor, I was probably more informed than I'd ever been when playing a character. But from a directorial point of view, the most fun I probably had was the preparation, because that's when I most felt like a director, and the edit as well, I guess, but the prep I loved. And then when I was on set, I suppose in some ways you kind of just feel like a jumped up egotistical actor, because you are on set telling people, I want this, I want that, and then acting, and it just feels a bit odd. And I definitely would like to direct more and do another short and stay behind the camera, because I feel like there's certain things that I haven't learned because I was in it that I think would benefit me as a director in the future if I really focus on just that discipline.
Although you did both, you know, very, very, very well. I felt like, you know, there's certain short films where you sort of like, you know, you leave it and it's one story. I felt like in this particular, in Hues of Clay, I felt like you left me wanting more. And also I fell in love with the characters. Like I was like, I want to see more. Can we have a sitcom here? Because I want to see more. I just want to see where this goes, you know? Which is always a great credit when you can invest in a short period of time. As you say, like, you know, what I love, it had a very British style of comedy, but a British style of comedy that Americans have grown to love and appreciate, and now they're, you know, they're napping all of us now with all of our different sitcoms and things and enjoying it. What's it like bringing it to the United States, here in Los Angeles, NewFilmmakers LA? What's it like bringing it over here, your film?
Well, I mean, the whole thing was nerve-wracking, full stop, because I'd never seen it with an audience before. So last night was my first time of seeing it with an audience, so I purposefully sat on an aisle seat in case I needed to kind of crawl out of the cinema, just in fear of what was happening around me. But it was a great response to it, and it was lovely. And also, both my wife Kerry and I, we are huge fans of American comedy, and I think the things that we love the most, I've already mentioned Master of None, but things like Girls and movies like Celeste and Jesse Forever, Dan in Real Life, Little Miss Sunshine, and all these things that have got, you know, that I think some of the running themes throughout these things have comedic actors playing meaningful stories. And obviously it's laced with comedy, there's funny moments, but I think when you get these comedic actors to do something dramatic, because they're not afraid of looking at tragedy through comedy, it feels so much more truthful.
100%.
And that's something that I absolutely love. You know, that's why, you know, I think you look at someone like Steve Carell, who's made that transition from comedy to drama so easily, and you watch things like The Way Back, or Little Miss Sunshine and Dan in Real Life and stuff, and you just think you're just so brilliant, because he's got that comedic mind, but he can really attack drama through comedy, through truth, and not trying too hard, and you know, all that kind of stuff is just great. And that's kind of where I think I'd like to go as a director and an actor, really. Yeah, and this was your directorial like debut. You know, which is remarkable. I mean, you've had an amazing career. I mean, been in, you know, BAFTA award-winning nominated, you know, different series, which is fantastic. We all know you from so many different roles. You know, going into the directing piece as the first time, was that kind of like quite nerve-wracking for you? Definitely, yeah. I mean, I kind of always, because I've been working as an actor for about 10 years now, I do think in shots. So I always knew that I could put down an idea and have a plan. It was just executing that plan, I guess. And and I felt like it was a relatively smooth transition, and you know, you're ready for it. I felt so. I just feel like, you know, I've been on set enough and learnt from so many great directors, been wrapped around a few brilliant directors that I've kind of gleaned bits from all of them, and hopefully I'm now on my way to trying to kind of make my own style. But as I say, when it was my first one, there's still so many mistakes that you see in there, and you watch it and you go, oh, I would have changed this, I would have changed that. But I think that's just common for anyone. I think probably in any creative field, really, that you're very rarely satisfied with something. You're always thinking, God, I could have done this differently. But that's a good thing, because there's always a room to improve and everything else, you know? And, I mean, you hear, even from the acting side of things, you hear people like Judi Dench saying that, you know, she never stops learning. You know, everything she does, she'll learn something new on it. And, you know, she's one of Judi Dench. She's Judi Dench. What more do you say? Judi Dench. What do we do? So if she's still learning, I think what hope is there for the rest of us to ever know what we're doing, really? So you're just constantly learning and trying, and not to mention, you got a very talented family. Obviously, you know, your wife wrote it, and then you know, you directed and starred in it. I mean, it's a match made in heaven, really, isn't it? I mean, giving her notes was interesting. Oh, giving your wife notes. That was, I think we can call that brave, you know? That was tricky at times. But we got there in the end, and I'm really proud of her. I think she's done because it's the first thing that she's really ever written was
really?
That as a
You would
play.
not believe that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
It's like a veteran BBC comedy writer.
Well,
you know?
she'll love you for that. And no, she's done a fabulous job with it, and yeah, and it's always, we've got 2 kids, and it's kind of finding the time for her particularly to do that amongst being an amazing mum.
Bow down to you both for being able to have, managed to do all this work and have
just
2
finding
kids.
Time,
and time, right?
They're time vacuums, children.
Yeah,
they just suck time out of
do.
everywhere.
I know, they do. No, they do. They're running around here everywhere, all over the set. No, kidding, not here. So what's next for you, Blake?
So I've got, from a directorial point of view, we're kind of waiting and seeing, because, the acting, I suppose, is still my main passion. I'm pursuing that, and I've got A Very English Scandal that comes out on BBC, I think in May, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And that's about the Jeremy Thorpe scandal of the 1970s, which, if people don't know, and I didn't know before doing it, was an amazing British political scandal in the 70s about a politician that actually hired a hitman to kill his former lover.
Yeah. That sounds remotely similar to what we happened today, but hey.
And then I'm doing a play in the summer as well called The End of the Pier, which is going to be on at the Park Theatre.
Oh, wonderful.
From July till August, and it's about the state of modern Britain, racism in modern Britain, through the eyes of stand-up comedians. So
wow.
That'll be interesting. So it's, again, comedic characters dealing with serious issues, which is something that I just think is brilliant.
Yeah, so important right now. Well, I mean, you're very busy, Blake, and it's just I'm very excited to see much more of your projects. And thank you for bringing Who's of Clay to us. And
thank you.
I'm looking forward to many more of your directing projects as well.
Thank you very much, mate. Cheers.
So Blake, everyone, he's come all the way from the other side of the world to be with us today. So thank you very much for being here.
Thank you.